What up, St. Louis? You know what today it is. It is Thursday, not your average therapy Thursday. And listen, this show is going to be so dear to my heart. It's like going on my homegirl. So if we get a little extra, you already know what it is. But I'm sitting down with Miss Sunni Minx. She is a producer, an actress, a writer. She is everything a woman aspires to be, that I aspire to be. And I'm so happy to have her with me today. Everybody, please welcome Miss Sunni Minx.
Ooh, hello. I'm so happy to be doing this interview with you today. I'm so proud of you.
Girl, likewise. Listen, we're going to keep doing this shit together.
You heard me? We've been grinding for a long time. They don't know, but they're about to find out.
They're about to find out. Listen, we were talking backstage, and I said, no, don't tell me. I want to wait till the show comes. I want to be in this just like our viewers are in this. Make sure that y'all leave comments and interact with us. Ask her questions. If the questions are good questions, I'll post them and shout you out. So, Sunni.
Yes.
I don't even know where to start, right? Let's start with yesterday, because you were doing something magnificent with students yesterday. What were you doing yesterday?
You know what? Yesterday I was out just speaking to the kids, Back in the day, I used to do some touring with Karan Bolden, and then a buddy of mine, Howard, reached out and was like, "Hey, I'm doing career day at a couple schools. I would like for you to be a part of it." And I love working with kids. I used to coach girls basketball for many years, and so I really love to reach out girls, especially because I knew what it was like to be an innocent little girl and then being a grown woman in this world. And so I just love to pour into the girls, but even the boys, our children need us. So when I say those kids were showing me so much love, it really just brightened up my day to just see the smiles, the hugs, making them feel special. I mean, they wouldn't even let me walk out the building, child, without giving me hugs. And I got them following me on Instagram now. I mean, it's just like, I'm like,
there. Okay. They were so happy.
You know what? It really inspired me to really get back into that. I've always said that I knew one of my purposes in my platform was to pour into the children. So now I'm like, okay, I got to do more. It made me feel like I am responsible to do more for these kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel so obligated to just be like, I want to come back. I want to talk to the girls about hygiene. I want to talk to the girls about, just feeling pretty. It's just so many things that they need. And you can just see that they need mentors. Yeah. Like the teachers that do a lot, their parents do a lot, but they just need that extra love, I think. It'll make a big difference, I think. So,
was there a certain topic that you talked to them about yesterday?
So it was just really about believing in themselves, and I just was telling them, like, look, whatever that thing is that you love, that you love to do, follow that dream and don't let nobody take that dream from you. Because I remember being a little girl loving TV and loving movies, but I didn't even think it was possible to even have a career in it, until I got older. And I was like, wait, but, just imagine if somebody would have told me in third grade, you could be a TV producer. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have went so many other directions. You know what I mean? It would have just made me have that much more confident in my dreams. And so being able to pour into them kids for theirs, I'm just like, okay, God, I know I'm doing my part. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, absolutely. And you know what? The journey sometimes that we get when we think that we're led astray on this journey to finding ourselves and our true, passion. It had to lead you to where you are, right? A lot of the things that you did in search of following your dreams, it led up to this, right? Like, absolutely. When did you realize that, okay, I'm going to step out and I'm going to put my foot forward to the little girl, that I was? When was that?
I would say, right around 2016 is when I decided to pursue a career in television. Okay.
No. Because Sunni was a rapper.
Yeah. I was a rapper. Yeah, I've been in rapping. Oh, okay. You talking about entertainment.
Let's take it to the beginning for the people who don't know.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. Okay, you want to go way back. Okay.
Let's look at that.
I was about 14 years old.
That's
when someone was like, you should model. You know, my whole life, people were always telling me I was pretty and, you know, attractive and things like that. So when I was about 14, I was like, Mom, I think I want to be a model. And so my mom was like, okay. So I had researched, because I was the type of kid, if I want to do something, I would research it and be like, Mama, here, take me here at this time. And so I did. I found the Barbizon Modeling School in Clayton. And I was like, okay, I don't know nothing about modeling, but they can teach me. I can go to school to learn. And so I did the program. And that's when I first had my first photo shoot, my first professional photo shoot. I still have those photos somewhere. I gotta find them. And I was 14 years old. And from there, I knew that being some type of artist was just in my soul. You know, it was who I was supposed to be at 14. So
how did that transition into music?
Okay, I'll tell you. So when I'm about to age myself here. When I was 20 years old, I started to go to New York because my sister lived in New York and she worked for Vibe magazine. So she had the connects. So I went to New York. I was like, I'm going to make it big. I'm going to go to New York. I got my headshots. I got my card, my comp card. I was ready. And she was hooking me up with like real live models who were like on ads galore. And I was having mentorship programs there. And I went to a Kimora Lee Simmons party when she was launching some stuff. And me and my sister was walking out the party and Benny Boone saw me. He was like, are you a model? And I was like, yeah. He was like, call my office tomorrow. I want to book you for a music video. And I was like, oh my God, you know, this is what I came here for. And so he did. He booked me for my first professional music video, which was with BMF, Blue Da Vinci, E40, and Manny Fresh.
What?
Yes, child. And so they flew us out to Atlanta. It was like a weekend long shoot. And girl, it was like Players Club. When I sat down to get my hair done, it was like, this your first time. And I was like, what do you mean? Because I was still a tomboy. At that time, I was hooping. You know what I mean? I was like in college hooping and stuff. And so I was like, yeah. They was like, I could tell this is your first video. And the girls were so comfortable being naked, you know, and I was so uncomfortable. The outfits that they made us wear, I was like, oh my God, I got my legs out, I got on booty shorts. So I was just like super uncomfortable the whole entire time. And the experience was horrible for me. And when I came back, I actually quit the video. I ended up calling my sister 2 days ahead of time to leave. And I was like, sister, book me a flight. I'm ready to come home. Like, I'm ready to come back to New York. Like, I was like, this ain't me. I saw some things that kind of threw me off. And I was like, I'm out of here. Okay. And so I ended up going back to New York. And then that's when I said, you know what? I don't want to be a model because I don't want to just be a piece of meat. I want to be a rapper. And that's literally my transition from being a model to doing music. Because I was like, I got stuff to say. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to be viewed as just, ooh, yeah, you know, a piece of meat. Because to be quite honest, I was always viewed like that, you know, coming up like, oh, you're pretty. And so I was just like, I'm so much more than that. You know, I have brains and I'm creative and I'm smart. I'm talented. And I wanted to express that talent other than just modeling.
You know, that's crazy. We've known each other. I'm not going to age us, right? Yeah. But I think Sunny and I probably had our first job together. We were Cool's girls, giving out cigarettes in a club.
That was I love that job. It was my favorite job to this day.
Me too. I mean, they gave us outfits and they did us well. And all we had to do was kill people. No, just
right here, give away cigarettes. People knew me as a cigarette lady for so long, baby. I was hustling at that thing. You hear me? I would get those cigarettes, and instead of scanning them and giving them to people, girl, I would go and sell those cigarettes. I probably shouldn't say that. I had a whole hustle. I love that job.
She said she was selling them. Listen, I know that's right. You want some Lucy's? No,
I got these coins.
So, you know, it's so funny because I didn't expect to hop into Sunshine like right away. But it's some things that you said that kind of, I mean, we might as well. You were in a video shoot, kind of dressed very provocative. And then fast forward, damn near, 10, 15 years later, here we are in the strip club.
Uncomfortable as heck. Baby, we had on pantyhose. I don't know no strippers running around with pantyhose on, covered up, long boots. I was trying to be as covered as possible in my role.
Still at Sunshine, you were.
Yes, uncomfortable. Because I was just not raised to show my body like that. My mom is very old school, so I could just show a swimsuit photo and she gonna be like, ma'am, and I'm grown. And she's like, that's just doing too much. So I just was raised like that. And so I'm very, if you notice, I don't really do it often. And so being a stripper was totally opposite of anything that I would ever be in real life. And so and this was before like twerking was super crazy, right?
Man.
We wasn't even doing all that, trying to, it wasn't even a thing to do at that time. So I was just like, oh my God, I'm so uncomfortable. But yeah, we got through it.
So being your mom being old school and you just naturally being a tomboy and uncomfortable, where did the inspiration come from? Because we were way beyond. P Valley came years after we came. There was no strip shows or anything before
Nothing.
Sunshine. So where did the inspiration come from?
We were before Power, before BMF. So all right, so this is the truth. When I was younger, and this is even far back than the modeling at 14, but when I was younger, I used to write stories in class, right? I would literally get in trouble for writing as a kid. And that was kind of like an outlet that I didn't know that was really an outlet, so to speak. So there was a phase in my life where I was going through a lot of different things, a very challenging time in my life. And so I kind of went back to what I knew, my origins in terms of just writing to express myself, just writing to kind of get lost in a different world. And so that's literally, I was just sitting there all sad and depressed about something. And I just started writing. And I wrote this story in a matter of a couple of days, and I was just going crazy. And then I just sat on it for years because I was just writing. I was just expressing myself, being creative. It wasn't that I was writing a movie or, a series. And then I would say about 2 years later, I was working at Knockouts. I was the general manager there at Knockouts. And this was right when Empire was coming out. And everybody was all hyped about Empire. And I was like, I wasn't really feeling Empire because I'm not like that whole Broadway singing thing. I thought was kind of different for me because I like either that. I didn't like the combination. It was a little bit, not my taste. But I was like, hey, y'all, I was telling my workers at the bar, I was like, what do y'all think about this story? And I told them the story of Sunshine. And he's like, oh, well, sure, watch that. I'll watch that. Yeah, that sounds dope. And I was like, you know what? I was like, okay. That's when I said, I'm going to do it. And from that moment on, I had no clue how to produce a series or anything. I'd never done anything to that scale. I did play into the world of reality TV with a couple shows, and we can touch on that later. But at that point, I just had my mind made up. I'm going to make it happen.
Yeah. This is so crazy because you hired me at Knockouts. I was the bartender at Knockouts with you.
Yeah.
I don't remember this happening, but I'm in the movie. And I remember some of the shots. I'm gonna send this to you, and we're gonna get ask the girls, can we post this? This is behind the scenes, or we were showing our little asses.
Yeah. Well, it was like a slow night. It was like maybe just a few people at the bar. It was like one of those days where we probably should have been closed,
Yeah.
And we were just kind of sitting around chatting. There was not much work happening. And we just kind of had that discussion at that time.
Really? So I was there at the time.
I think you were working. I'm not sure if you were working there yet.
So maybe. And I'm trying to find out the elements of the strip club, right? How did that come about? With it not being you at all? Was that just a piece of entertainment that you knew that would grasp everybody's attention and you worked that in? Or was that just something that developed after the writing from the traumatic experience that you had?
Well, you know what? The writing was just me creating a world, right? And so as I was creating Sunshine, this girl who I'm like, who is this girl? You know what I'm saying? Because I knew that I wanted her to come from a place of just all the cards are dealt bad, right? And so I'm like, okay, yeah. As I'm writing, it's just really flowing. I'm not really trying to plan out this story, really. And I'm like, okay, yeah, her mom dies. She's now, homeless. She has nobody. what do? You turn to the streets, because that's the real story that so many of us African Americans have. We don't have the mom in the home. We don't have the father in the home. The streets raise us. And so this was just a prime example of the streets grabbing somebody when they had nothing else to hold on to. And now, what is this? This is your world. And in a way, it's like this is the only thing that loves you, but at the same time, it's the same thing that's going to destroy you. So that's just like a real life struggle that so many people have. And I was like, dang, this is real heavy right here. So that just kind of became what I felt would be natural for a woman to do when she's homeless, besides prostitution. And I was like, she's not there. She's not that girl, but she would be the girl that would be vulnerable enough for you and Gloria to soup up and be like, hey, let me show you what the strip life about.
Yeah. Yeah. We're going to get to the Huntsville story, Mary Macon. Just give us a minute. Give us some time. Sunni got a full long, listen, this lady.
A whole long resume, child. We'll get to the drama in a minute, honey.
I do want to ask you this before we get into it, right? Because I was always curious. How did you cast us for Sunshine? What made you? And commercial break. Everybody, please make sure if we got any of Sunni friends on here, drop the links and everybody to Tubi. Go and watch Sunshine, the series, y'all. We're going to be filming very, very soon. Part 2.
Yes.
So how did you choose us? One of your best friends, Sheena, is in it. The real Sheena.
The real Sheena.
Then we got City School. We got Darius. We got Petey. How did you pick all of us?
I always had some of y'all in mind. Like you, I always knew, like I typecasted you guys and kind of already knew like, okay, yeah, she gonna be this person. Before I even I didn't have many auditions. I did have a few actors come and audition, but certain people I was like, yeah, she can do this. She can do this. And I pulled from my circle. Because you and I go so far back in entertainment, I was like, Countess is made for it. She has to be a part of it. Like, so some people I had already just was like, yep, come on, yep. And yeah, that's kind of how I did it. And then the other people that I didn't know, we did host the casting call, and that's how we got a couple of the extra actors in there.
You have a lot of St. Louis people that just love entertainment, and I think that was brilliant, Sunni. That was brilliant to put these people in it that love entertainment just as much as you love entertainment, because it's going to be all of our babies. Okay, y'all, go watch Sunshine on Tubi. Listen,
please watch it.
We need y'all to watch Sunshine on Tubi, but we're going to give the audience what they want. They want to talk about Huntsville. So, Miss Mary Macon, if you're still on the line, what do you want to know about Huntsville? So, Sunni, you got married on us, sis.
Well, you know what? Y'all weren't paying attention to my subliminal messages. I always told you I was gonna pop up married one day, pop up just out the blue, like, yep. I was never the type of girl to really post boyfriends, just because it's like, we're not there. I always said the only guy I'm gonna post on my page is my husband, and I stay true to that. Just because I'm not the type of girl that dates for like years on out, because I just feel like, time is of an essence in terms of like, I ain't gonna let you sit there and like test me out for 5 years and then be like, no, I'm cool. Like, I just poured into you and all that. Child, I ain't got time.
I love that. So how did you meet Moses?
Well, as we all have been watching, or maybe you haven't tuned in, but I actually met him working through the show, through a young lady who was dating him at the time. Now, they were dating at the time, but he never came and filmed on set. He was never in Huntsville while I was in Huntsville. So we never like crossed paths truly like that. We saw each other like once or twice. Through the young lady at the time that I was working on the show. And I worked on the show in 2022. I spent my whole year down in Huntsville. So after the show was over, come back home to St. Louis, and I'm back on my real estate grind. I'm a general contractor by trade. So I'm back flipping houses and in the houses and just, doing my thing. And then come to find out, we have so many close ties. Like he grew up with my family. Like they're almost more close than we are. You know what I'm saying? Because they are, they're guys. They grew up together. And so I started seeing him all the time. And next thing you know, he's like, "Hey, you do real estate? I do real estate too." Because he had just had a house knocked down in the neighborhood. And I was over there talking to one of my cousins about real estate because they were working for me at the time. And he was like, "Hey, let's give numbers and exchange numbers and do some business together. I tell you about your business. Your people tell me you about your business." I'm like, "Okay, cool. A client or whatever. I'm a money making Sunni. So yeah, okay, cool."
Hold on. It was you can't just easy.
What?
Believe in it. It wasn't just he on some money.
No, seriously, like no cap.
Nothing. Like, he kind of fine. Let me.
No. Listen.
Okay.
I understood that the young man was attractive, but at the time I didn't know what he had going on, and I'm not that thirsty. I will play cool. I've been around men all the time. In construction, I'm around men. In the entertainment industry, I'm around men all the time. I'm on set. I'm in Hollywood. I'm around celebrities all the time. And you keep your composure. I don't never let nobody see me sweat like that. In terms of a guy, I could be. Now I might go to my friends and be like, "Girl, he cute," but I ain't gonna give you that much. I'm not giving you that much energy, in your face, because you gotta, I ain't gonna never pump no man head up too big like that. And so I was actually just like really cordial with him. Like it wasn't no, me. How I could be. I can be a little,
and I do.
And a little bit.
I knew you weren't gonna give the energy outward, but I mean, inside.
Like, yeah, he's nice looking. You know what I mean? For sure. I acknowledge that for sure to myself and my people. I'm like, yeah, he was nice looking, But it wasn't like I was like, oh my God.
You ain't know that was your husband when you saw him.
When I saw him at that moment, no, because I didn't know what he had going on. No, I'm not gonna lie to you. I need more than just looks, baby. I need to know what the intellectual is like. I need to know what your spirit is like. Like it was. There's moments when I did know. Don't get me wrong, but just the first exchange of numbers, talking about business. No, I ain't gonna say like I knew it was my husband at that point. But he came to me like a month or so later. He was like, "Hey, I want to meet up, talk to you." And he wasn't talking about no real estate.
Now we get to it.
Yeah, I'm like, flip the script on me. Okay.
When did you find that out? When you got to dive deep into his spirit and hear his conversation and spend time with him, how did you know? Because you already knew you were gonna be a wife. You've been saying that for as long as I've known you. That has been a goal, just as much as entertainment. Yeah. So this man, you are Sunni motherfucking Minx. So this man had to really come with it. When did he come with it?
He came with it right off the rip. Okay. He was once I let him in, he was very persistent in pursuing me. Like, you know how some guys you'll talk to him, you won't hear from him for a couple of days. He'll have you wondering. This man called me like clockwork all day long to check in. Just consistent. I didn't even have to call his number at the beginning. And so, I'm on live, baby.
Tell me.
I'm on live. Give me 1 second, but you can text me if it's important, hubby. Baby, you probably ain't got no shirt on, and I don't need y'all to do it.
Come on, give us what we want. I'm not your average therapist.
You ain't gonna be my man, damn, honey. No, but look. So check this out. This is how I really knew that this was my husband. Okay. I prayed, first of all, like I mentioned several times. I prayed because I'm like, okay, I need to hear from my father, because I don't always make the most wise decisions with me. And sometimes I'm like, okay, I pick them and then they'd be duds and I throw them right back to the water. I don't waste too much time on them. But when I knew that it was more to him is when I would see him pray about me, right in my face, like asking God to bless us, to, pray for our relationship to grow. And I'm looking like, and this every day. This is not just a one-time thing. This is every day, praying for me out loud, praying for God to bless us and draw us closer. And I was just like, because for me, that is the most important part. I'm gonna be clear. You can be fine. You can be rich. I didn't have rich. I didn't have fine. But if the God connection ain't there, you lose me. You lose me. I ain't gonna lie to you. My ex was a millionaire, had his shit together. That's my caliber of man. But they had a connection to God. Never heard him talk about God. Didn't have that. And so for me, it's like if you don't have that standard and God don't hold you to a certain standard, you'll do anything. You know what I'm saying? You won't protect me, respect me. You'll neglect me. You'll do anything. You know what I'm saying? If you not got some kind of center with God, I need somebody to hold you accountable when you making decisions and how you handle me. And so I really, truly believe that a man has to be connected to God in order to be connected to me. And so that's what really sold me on him, because not only did he have the beauty, he's a hustler, he can make his money, he's athletic, he's like me in so many ways, you know what I mean? Like we're really like each other. He's like the male version of me. But that God thing did for me, I ain't gonna lie to you. It praying for me like that. I ain't never had no man pray for me like in my face every day. And so that was just like, oh, okay, yeah, that's what's up. You know what I mean?
Ladies, I'm telling you, that right there deserves some stars, some likes, some hearts. Those were true gems dropped from a successful woman who knew what she wanted out of life, who didn't play around, who didn't give these men little attention for nothing. She said her man prayed with her, for her, and by her side. That's dope, Sunni. Thank you for sharing that right here.
Yeah. I ain't told nobody else that. You getting it exclusive. That's my homegirl, so you know.
Yeah, that's dope. I appreciate that. And it is showing all over you, baby. You are just as gorgeous and happy, and career is thriving.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Okay, so with all the beauty that's come with Moses and Sunni, there has been some fire. There has been some haters.
Sure.
You can even be looked at to be a villain or a mean girl, right? So how are you dealing with that backlash?
You know what? God has been preparing me all my life for any challenges. I've been through a lot. I've faced death before. So there's nothing I can't face and overcome. You understand? And when you've been broken and built up by God, haters can't tear you down. It's really words, sticks and stones, baby. They don't, And so when people say words like that, it don't really, of course you don't want to be hated by people, right? In general, the general idea is you want to be liked, respected, and loved by people. But honestly, it is what it is, because I know they don't know my character. You know what I'm saying? I know they don't really know me, because if they knew me, they love me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not one of those people that you just hate. I'm one of those people that once you get to know me, we tied in, and so, and I'm gonna say this, and this is all the hate that I have received, I also receive love, and I just really cling on to that. But it makes me feel like, dang, I wonder how Jesus, now I kind of see how Jesus, I'm not saying, I'm not comparing myself, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, I just imagine what my father went through when they didn't believe him when he was who he was. And they were cursing his name and hated this man so much that they killed him. So I'm like, of course they could talk about me. It's nothing.
Yeah. So how did you know, and how was the opportunity presented to you and Moses to actually be on Huntsville as a couple?
So I was actually asked to come back as a producer, because I was a favorite producer. I was a very well-liked producer by the whole cast. Like the whole cast told me, oh my God, but they loved our whole team. Our whole team was just so great that season. We just really connected, the crew, the people I really was in the fire with. And so they asked me to come back. And so I was like, I got to tell them, because I can't come back. First of all, and this is unknown to people, right? And then it's like, I'm married and this takes you away for a whole entire year. And my husband has businesses here that he can't just up and just leave tomorrow. He could if he wanted to, but I was just like, do I want to do that? And I'm newly married, because you really have to be committed to producing the show. You work 6 days a week. You're working 12 to umpteen hours more. You really don't never get time off, because even when you're not working, you're working. So, your call time, 6 o'clock in the morning, when you get home at 9 o'clock at night, you still got to write up documents and send them in. Sometimes you don't go to bed till midnight. So it is really truly a work around the clock type of thing. And I was just like, it takes me away from everything. And am I willing to sacrifice walking away from my new life at this time? No. However, when they were like, well, thanks for telling us, but now we want to present a different light to you. And I'm like, at the same time I'm like, okay, I know that this is going to be a roller coaster ride. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get some backlash. I didn't think I would get this. I mean, people going crazy. Like like this man was married or something. But I understood I would get some backlash from it. And so I'm just like, okay, I'll give it a shot, whatever. I guess I just decided to say yes. And the main thing was too, he was like, I want to clear your name up because they're trying to tarnish your name and your career. And I've worked so hard to get to where I am and sacrifice so much for it to be tarnished because I dated someone that I knew ex. Like, it's just like, come on, like, I mean, yeah. So we weren't just gonna let that ride and you just, we're not gonna say nothing, which, it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it comes with it. I think regardless of it, you being on a reality show, somebody was going to find something to like you or not like you about, right? We do have a comment, but what about the friend who you're in production with? Are y'all still friends? So I guess Moses asked, Mary Macon wants to know, how's the relationship between you guys? Or do we have to?
We can talk about it. There's no relationship. But here's the real thing about it. I don't dislike her. She's done some things I don't agree with. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, but again, I'm not a very judgmental person because I understand people make mistakes. And you also have to give grace and room for people to grow because God gives me grace all the time to grow, right? And make for my mistakes. And I ain't gonna lie, if it could be peaceful to me, I would still be like cordial and peaceful. Like, I don't want to hate anybody or I'm not mad. It's just that I am, me, Countess, I'm a defensive type of person in terms of I'm going to defend my name and my honor. I don't give a damn what's going on. You can call it, oh, you being aggressive. Well, yeah, when you come for me, you don't poke the lion, it's just like, I don't have that grace yet that I can just be like, let you just kind of like demean my character. Cause I understand her being upset, but it's like, dang, you got to put a 10 on a 2 with all this stuff. You fabricating some stuff, but it is what it is. I don't dislike the lady. I wish her well. And maybe in my crazy mind, we can still be cordial in sense of like, hey, we can be in a room and not be mad. Like, but.
And it to me, it sounds like that's all that y'all ever were. Like, y'all didn't go out and kiki together and did y'all have that type of relationship? What type of relationship was it really?
Okay. So as a producer, it is literally your job to make them feel comfortable with you because you have to get the tea, right? And I got that homegirl vibe. I'm cool. I'm easy to talk to. I can talk to you about a lot of different things on a lot of different levels. And I'm not gonna lie, Destiny was cool for, at the time we were working and things were cool. But for me, I just saw it as a business relationship. I mean, because that's what we really talked about. There was times when after I left the show, she would reach out, but it was still like about the show. You know what I mean? Like her trying to get back on now. What should she do? Like she really wanted me to produce her. Even when she wasn't on the show, she would just be asking me about what should she do. And so I'm not saying the girl was an enemy or anything. She was cool. But we from St. Louis. I just don't fall in love with you overnight in terms of just being like, you're my friend. And, because I take that word very seriously. And I owe you a certain amount of respect and all kind of stuff. I got to be willing to take my shirt off my back for my friend. You know what I mean?
You do. And you do.
So I don't just be like, girl, we grown, you know what I mean? And in this business, you meet so many people as a producer. Like you always switching crews, you're in different cities, you live in different cities, like you move around and meet so many people that you share that space and that connection.
Yeah.
But sometimes it don't really go beyond into your personal world,
Yeah. And you know what, you guys, I don't know if you've been on since the beginning of the live, I asked her, was it that initial, oh, he fine, he giving me them eyes, I'm giving him them eyes, like we across the room and we flirt. It wasn't that.
Nah.
She said,
and I know it's hard for people to believe that.
Always business. It was always business until time
I wasn't even on the show no more. You know what I mean? I was no longer a producer.
Yeah.
And that's like, you were her producer. I wasn't her producer then. You know what I mean? This was months and 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 months, almost a year after I was no longer on the show.
So when can we see you and Moses on the show? When does the show air? When will you all be back? Everybody's dying to know.
Yes, so it's every Saturday at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. Every Saturday, it comes on OWN Network. And yeah, so that's where you can see us. If you've already missed the last 2 episodes, if you got Hulu, you can find them. And they even show the full episodes on YouTube as well at some point. Don't go on YouTube though.
We're gonna edit that part out a little bit.
Yeah, don't even go on there.
Log on to OWN 7 p.m. every single Saturday to watch Love and Marriage Huntsville. So I do want to touch a little bit on Sunni's entrepreneurship, right? Sunni flips houses, is in real estate. What made you get into that? Because we know where your passion is. It's entertainment all day long. Model, rapper, writer, producer, actress. But where the hell? I mean, I'm saying you shoveling dirt and grime and laying floors and drywall. Yeah. Who is that girl? Introduce us to her.
So I'm gonna be honest. I'm giving it to you today, honey. When I was young, right? One of my neighbors, who was like an uncle, would pick me up on the weekends. I was like 9, 10, 11, 12. And I would go and work in construction with him. And this was before I even knew what the hell construction was, right? I was like just making money on the weekends. He was paying me pretty good to be a kid. I'd make upwards to $100-some a day, and I was like, woo, okay, cool. Piggy bank getting big. Yeah. And that was like the foundation, little did I know. Now, fast forward years later, I went to college, did all these different types of careers. Right around the same time that I chose to do film, I was like, okay, I got to make $100,000 to shoot a movie. What job can I do? What is going to fuel this thing that I love to do? How am I going to pay for my movies? And then it was like, I said real estate. I was like, because I wanted to be financially free. I didn't want to go, I'm not a 9-to-5 type of girl. I've always been bossy my whole life. I was a little kid bossing folks around. And I was like, yeah, let me teach myself real estate. And I did for a year. Before I even touched anything, I studied real estate for a year. And I knew in order to become an investor, for me, I said I need to learn how to flip the houses, because I don't want to rely on somebody to tell me everything that's wrong. I need to know. I'm a hands-on type of girl. So I started to do construction and rehabbing first before I started to financially invest.
Wow, that's dope.
Yeah. I used to be like a general laborer for somebody. Like there was a point where I was making like $10 an hour just learning the game, but it was valuable game that I learned. I learned how to do the work.
So, a question I wanted to ask you that I've never asked you. I don't even know how I never asked you, maybe because I knew I was going to have you on the show one day. How did you get linked up with the OWN network, Oprah Winfrey Network?
So I was in Atlanta, and someone was looking for a PA to work on it was a development project for A&E Network.
Okay.
And I was like, they was like, can you come here tomorrow? I was like, sure can. I'll be there tomorrow. And I was in St. Louis. Yeah. But baby, I booked that flight. As soon as we got off the phone, I was there. And that's when I first got introduced to producing for reality TV. And so they was like, okay, yeah, this is what you do, because it was just a development show. And so, we were there for a couple days, following these people around. And I overheard them talking about planning the production for the Love and Marriage Huntsville show. And I'm a person, I'm not a thirsty person. I don't just jump right in and be like, hey, so yeah. I'll be like, Lord, give me, because I'm not real forceful with stuff. I like to let stuff happen organically. So I was like, God, give me the words and the timing to jump into this conversation. This is something I really want, but I ain't too quick to just be like, and I don't really just, I don't want to be like an opportunist, but I'm just like, if it's meant for me, Lord, make it happen. Yeah. So a couple days went by, they kept talking about it. I'm like, no, not right now. Don't say nothing. And so what happened was I got a call because I was also trying to produce another TV show in LA. Okay. With Bentley Evans, who is the guy who created Martin Lawrence and Jamie Foxx show. Mm-hmm. I was working on creating a show with him, and he called me, or one of his people called me, and I was setting up stuff for that show. So the person was listening to me like, you doing stuff like that? Because I'm talking about, yeah, I can meet you in LA with the script. Woo. And they're like, they approached me about the conversation.
See?
They was like, hey, I need some producers, won't you? And I was like, see, God, that's why I be trusting them. I be trusting when I be trusting them. You hear me? And he just made the conversation happen organically. Then they was like, you sure you can dedicate a year to your life? I'm like, absolutely. I was like, I do it with a heartbeat. This is what I want to do. And so the rest is history.
So it started as, for people who don't know, is a PA a production assistant opportunity?
Yes, when I first started in for the
that led to
wow. Me being a producer for the number one show. I didn't even know what Love and Marriage Huntsville was, because I didn't even know what Huntsville was. I knew I had a couple cousins that lived there, and but I'd never been. I didn't think I'd ever been to Alabama. I was like, what? Who? And so I watched like an episode. I think they were like in Vegas or something. I saw an episode come on right before I was about to go to Huntsville. I was like, oh, okay. That's the show. Cool.
So a year in Huntsville, right? Because to me, Alabama is country bumpkin. You know what I'm saying? How was that? Especially you being a St. Louis City girl, you loving LA, Atlanta.
Yes,
like, you're in Alabama, and your man, you said Moses is from here.
Yes. Okay. So I it was very different. It was very small. Woo. You think St. Louis is small? No, ma'am. That place is tiny. And we tore that little city up. We used to be all through that city. So I learned who the movers and shakers were. I was even doing real estate in there while I was working on production. But it was different. But you know what I will say? I felt a sense of peace, because I didn't feel like I didn't hear gunshots. I didn't feel like I needed to have a gun on me. I didn't feel like it was dangerous, because the loot.
I was gonna say, Sunny always got a little tuck in a fire.
Don't tell these people that.
Sorry.
I'm such a good girl.
You got to here. You
got to. No. You know what it is here. Like, it is what it is. I've been carrying the same little gun around for 20 years now. But no, but I didn't feel like I needed any of that. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, wow, this place is different, because I'm like, everybody knew each other so quickly, and it was just like, oh wow, Huntsville.
Yeah. That's dope. Well, I am so happy for you. Can you leak something that's gonna happen on the show? A little hint, so they can hear it first. The inside scoop on Not Your Average Therapy. For your girl, for the one time, take that shirt off your back and hand it to me real quick. What can we expect this?
Well, you saw the I'm the wife part, so that's coming up soon. And people are like, why she so aggressive? Hey, I'm from a place where you got to stand 10 toes down, or you'll get ate up. You know what I mean? And I'm just not the one to be bullied or put in a corner, baby, because I'm gonna come out that thing, however I need to come out of it. And so there is a time where I'm tried And I'm tested a lot, and especially the girls trip.
Oh.
The girls trip is very interesting, I'll say that. And that's probably, you probably want to see that to the end of the thing, but I saw a lot of things for what they were at that time. You know, my eyes was like, oh, okay. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
A lot
Oh.
of stuff was I got clarity is the word.
So Sunny finna be whooping somebody ass in Huntsville.
No, we gonna keep it lady like. We don't do that. We don't do that. We ain't gonna do that.
You put a
Yeah.
gun out? No, at this point.
That'll be a different show, and I'm not trying to be like that. I've grown up so much. I'm so
No, I'm just,
different in
I'm
this
teasing.
shit.
I'm goofy. That's why I'm Sheena on the show.
Yeah. Yes, child.
We gotta bring the energy. Hold on. We got a comment. Both my boos, I love y'all. I'm literally never on the book. Just made me so happy. Oh, we love you too.
Hey, Ashley. How you doing, boo?
My son want to say I love you, Mom. I love you too, baby.
Oh,
You got to put him in something, Sunny. Listen, it has been such an honor to be your friend. Like, yeah, this was on Set of Sunshine, me and Sunny, 8-9 years ago, and we go back even further than that. I just want to say I wish you nothing but the best, the most success.
so
I want you to smile every single day and night, 24/7.
I
I want you
appreciate
to
that.
know I'm always available for you. I'm always here for you. I'm
Same
always
here.
for you.
My love for you goes deep. We got so many years in this game. I mean, we was gonna be doing a rap group one time. Girl,
We
listen.
still can.
Girl, listen. You've always been such a sweetie pie, and you are a great person, and you'll always be somebody. I'll be like, yeah, I'm standing down, 10 toes down for you. So
Oh, I love you, Sunny. And before we leave, please give a piece of advice to all the women and the young women out there. A piece of advice, and then let us know where we can follow and how to support you.
Sunni Minx on all platforms. SUNNIMINX. My husband has a page, Sunny and Moses, on Instagram. My piece of advice and something I believe to be true, you got to love yourself, because the world will try to make you hate yourself. You'll always be looking at Instagram, talking about I can get my lips a little bigger and get my butt a little bigger, or whatever the case may be. I just want women to know to love yourself no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Because you're all you got at the end of the day. And don't let nobody take that away from you. You are enough. Yes.
Thank you, friend. Thank you for being amazing. Thank you for sharing this time with me. And y'all look on her page. There is a casting coming up. She is looking for casting. She's looking for production assistants. You want to help with the next season, hit her up. She has opportunities for people who are trying to get into entertainment, films, directing, producing. We love you. And we cannot wait to see what you have in store for us on Huntsville, Love and Marriage Huntsville, and Sunshine, the series, now streaming on Tubi. Thank you, everyone, so much for joining us on Natural Average Therapy Thursday. Sunny, I'll see you soon.
All right, baby.
Bye,
see y'all. Love, peace, and light.